Hey you guys, it's Christina here. I was gonna try to do a video on my way home from the dietitian class, but I don't know how you guys do it. Like, it's so distracting. I cannot drive and think and talk at the same time. So I don't know, maybe with practice, but plus I don't know how you guys are like setting your phones up. Like, are you sticking it on the visor or what? I don't know. I spent like 4 minutes trying to like figure it out, and then I was like, all right, this is not a skill I have. So anyways, I attended this dietitian class, this little cool little pamphlet book thing they gave me. I don't know if you can read that, but basically it's surgical weight loss program, group bariatric, preoperative dietitian class workbook, and it has all this great information in it. And it's basically they offer it, I think they offer it almost weekly, but I only have to go a minimum of once a month, but they would prefer I go twice a month. And they record your weight, they check in with you on your diet. They're not really putting us on a very specific diet. It looks more like try to keep your calories around 12 to 1400, depending on your height and weight and all that jazz. But and then like they want you to start practicing things that you would be doing after surgery, like chewing your food and eating slowly and not drinking with your food, and avoiding certain things. They want me to get off of caffeine. I was like, well, that'll be a slow one. I mean, I know you can go back to it later, but definitely in the beginning, it's advised to not have it. So anyways, so for my official first month of my 6-month pre-op diet weigh-in, they put me at 271.5. It's kind of bummed because I was like standing in line that I thought was like to get to the bathroom, and she was like, oh, you next to weigh in? I was like, no, I really want to pee. It's been like 3 hours. And she's like, well, let's weigh you first. I was like, all right. I mean, whatever. I was like 269, and I guess I was like happy. I was like, no, I haven't quite gone over 270, but I did. So anyways, neither here nor there. I realized that my videos are really short. I didn't really think about it. I always feel like I'm rambling forever, and then I go to post and it's like 2 minutes. I was like, really? I felt like I talked forever. So I'm trying to make this one a little bit longer, not to ramble, but just to like get more information and not like rush through everything really fast. Plus, for once, I don't have my infant son with me, so I can just chat. He's at home and I'm chilling in the car. So yeah, I found out who my surgeon is going to be, most likely, and I'll be setting up the consult sometime during the 6 months. The lady that I talked to today was so helpful. Like none of the phone calls and conversations I've had with people have been as helpful as she was. She was so nice and was like, yeah, this is the program, this is the process that we put everyone through. And we'll make sure to have everything recorded exactly as your insurance will need it, and not to worry about any of that. And then she also recommended getting tested for sleep apnea. She said that like 90% of in her experience, overweight or bariatric patients had sleep apnea or have sleep apnea. Eventually it does go away depending on what kind it was, but she said that a lot of times that can help with insurance approval also. Plus, it's just a good idea to know if you are like not breathing while you're sleeping. So, which is funny that she like mentioned it, because I had been thinking about it. My friend actually works at a sleep facility and runs these like tests on patients all the time, and he was like, oh, if you ever want to come in, like I can do a study on you, like because he needs to bring in people. Anyways, long story short, like it wouldn't be an official thing like for insurance, but he could do like a study. But I think I might just mention it to my actual primary care doctor and see, because my husband has told me before that I make weird noises when I'm sleeping. I don't exactly know what that means. He's never recorded it, and I asked him if it was snoring, and he was like, no, not really. It sounds like you're growling. I really don't know. Maybe I was having an aggressive dream. I don't know. So I don't know. I know my dad well, there's a lot of problems with my dad. He has diabetes. He's been overweight for as long as I've known him, obviously, my whole life. And he has bad sleep apnea. He has a sleep CPAP machine. He's had 2 strokes. He's recently fallen and broken his entire leg because he was weakened from his stroke, and just a lot of bad stuff. And he's 53, so he's really young to be having all of these physical ailments, and it scares me. It scares me because I don't know how much longer he's going to be around, and I don't want to get to that point where, my body just starts falling apart because I didn't take care of it. So he also has no interest whatsoever in, doctors have tried to get him to do weight loss surgery, and he has no interest in it. His kidneys are failing. He's on a list for kidney transplant. He gets dialysis. I mean, like, his body is falling apart. He will not give up, I started to say smoking. He doesn't smoke. He will not give up soda, and he will not give up fast food. Like, those are his vices. And, I thought about, like, my vices lately, and I never really thought of myself as, like, a sugar addict, but the more and more I'm honest with myself and thinking about it, I'm like, yeah, kind of, I mean, I definitely go for, like, the salty stuff too, but, like, I definitely have a spot in my heart for sugar, and a lot of times that particular substance is what I would go to if I'm having, like, a really stressful day, or I'm really frustrated or something, like, you're crying and eating chocolate chips. I mean, not to be dramatic, but, so I do find that that's something that I struggle with. And also, they talked about today's informational seminar thing was really awesome, because I can Google and Google and Google, and watch YouTube videos forever and still not get, like, all the information addressed quite like it was today. It was really, really nice. Plus, you were able to ask questions and stuff, so it was really helpful. But they were going back and forth talking about Roux-en-Y gastric bypass, and then the vertical sleeve gastrectomy, and there's not as many differences really as I had originally thought, and some of the things that I thought were, like, really, really bad about about gastric bypass is really not as common. And since that's what my insurance covers, I'm trying to get more information about it. And I'm actually getting really excited because there's the potential for having aversions to sugar and high fat, and that just sounds like one more thing to keep me on track. And I'm not counting on it, because this doesn't happen to everyone, but I don't really want the dumping syndrome. Like, it sounds completely horrible. And this one woman, like, shared her story. She was a post-op patient, and she's like, oh, it was my birthday. And I was like, you know what? Gosh dang it, I'm gonna have a piece of cake. And she had, like, a couple of bites, and less than an hour later, she crapped her pants and went home crying, took a shower, and then fell asleep because she felt so dizzy, felt so sick. And my heart just goes out to her. Like, I don't really want to risk that. And on her birthday too, like, the poor thing. So, anyways, that was some of the stuff that I learned today, and I'm feeling suddenly extremely self-conscious chatting to myself in the car, because there's, like, people all around, like, parked at my apartment complex. So, anyways, I'm gonna wrap this up, but yay, I made it well past my 2 to 4 minute word limit before. So, I will check in after probably I do the next class, and after if I end up doing, like, a sleep study or something, I will check in after that. So I hope you guys are doing great. Bye.